in this session I will give an overview about different ways of looking at a file. So we know there's editors like VI and Nano. That means that you can use those to open a file and change a file as well. But if you just want to look at the file without actually editing it, there's other options available. And so I'm going to go through 3 different options. And one option is called cat. The next option will be more. And then the last option we will go through is less. Okay, let's start with cat. First, what's in this directory? First, I want to know where I am. So print working directory. And it shows me I'm in my home directory and in DRW code directory. Let's see what's in this directory. Let's do a listing, ls. And it shows me there's quite a range of different files. And I now would like to look at the readme file in this directory. So what happens if I use cat to look at the readme file? Cat, C-A-T, and then readme. Now if we press enter, let's see what happens. Okay, so now it's printed something out on screen, but when I look at it, it seems to be that we are at the end of the file, and that's true. This on the bottom here is the end of the actual readme file, and I have to scroll up to see what's at the start of the file. So cat will print out the whole file in one go, and you will end up right at the end of the file. So cat is a good option to look at small files or short files where you don't have to scroll up all the way, or if you just really want to look at the end of the file very quickly. So that's an option for cat. Now let's have a look. First we're going to clear the screen. If you ever want to clear your screen that there's nothing on it, type the word clear and press enter, and you will have a clear screen. Okay, so now we have a look what more is going to do. M-O-R-E, more, and then the readme file. Let's see what happens. I'll press enter. Okay, so that looks like I'm looking at the start. And so if I'm looking at the bottom left corner, it's actually telling me I'm looking at the first 10% of that file. So now how do I go any further in this file? I want to read further down the line. And for this you have to press the space bar on your keyboard. So if I go space bar, it goes a page down, and if I keep pressing the space bar, I will go further and further down until I reach the end of the file. So more is a reasonable option if you want to quickly scroll through a file. The problem with more is you can't actually go back up. You have to basically scroll up your screen again. So you can't scroll up the file. You can only start at the start, and then you can scroll down in the file, but you can't go back up again until you reach the end, and then you have to scroll back on your screen. And so that's a similar thing as for the cat command. You end up at the bottom and then you have to scroll up in your screen. You can't actually scroll up in your file. Again, more is not a bad option for longer files, because you start at the start and then you can make your way down until you find the part that you actually would like to look at. But there's a better option, and that is for long files. Let's have a clear the screen again, and now we're going to use less to look at the readme file. Let's see what happens. Okay, if I now type less, I again see the start of the file. However, with this one, it's better because now you can scroll up and you can scroll down. So you can use the arrow keys or the page up and page down keys. and you can scroll down in your file. I'm using the down arrow key, and you can scroll up again. So if you actually need to navigate around a reasonably long file that is several pages long, the less command lets you do this fairly easily. So you can scroll up, you can scroll down all the way to the bottom if you like, and you can go back up again. Now with the cat command, you just had the output onto your screen. With the more command, again, use the spacebar to go down, and then you exited the file automatically when you reach the bottom. With the less command, you actually have to quit out of the file. So even if you get to the end, you're still within the file because it allows you to scroll back up again. And so to get out of looking at the file with less, you have to press Q on your keyboard for quitting. And this is how you get out of the file. So we looked at 3 different options to just look at the file where you don't want to edit the file. The first one was cat, which just puts your file straight onto the screen and you see the end of it, and then you have to scroll with the screen to see more of the file. More will allow you to scroll down in your file, but then once you reach the end, you will exit the file and you can't scroll back up within the file. You have to scroll up in your screen. Less will start at the start of the file and then will allow you to scroll up and down within the file, and then you have to use Q for quit to exit less.